Do you have predictions about how this will go, Claus?
I have no clue. I think it really will come down to RNG, because this is a coin flip in my opinion. I could see either one of these runners playing very, very well, getting good sets, and Knuckles getting a good door, and that's saving the run. So, honestly, it seems like it could be a coin flip. Niczur, as most of us probably could guess, does have world record in this category.
No
and
way.
Drag is started. Niczur a bit behind. A small timer difference hasn't stopped us before, but Drag well off into Amy now. Good cream skip as we open up. Good. Oh, that looked good, but unfortunately couldn't stick the landing.
Second try? That's not bad.
Second try is not bad at all. I believe that's still faster second try than left side first.
Everybody don't worry about Niczur. I'm sure he will be joining us very shortly.
Niczur, Maka S. There he is.
There we go. So almost a 50-second disparity between the two at the moment when it comes to how they've started off, but hey, that could all change. Dragon Twinkle Park, you know, doing the jumping. Not really.
I do love Twinkle Park. Act 1 is the most exciting level in the run. Ooh, catching the door, but smooth recovery as she lines up for castle skip.
Ooh, that's looking like a first try.
Ooh, but
Niczur. Oh.
Ib, you cursed it. Drag fell down.
I was talking about Niczur though. Niczur got a first try getting into the other.
Commentator's curse comes for anyone, regardless of target. Against Drag. A bit of stumbling with Twinkle Park. Niczur now in Twinkle Park himself.
Yeah, fast approaching where Drag is.
If Niczur hits this first try, that's a huge lead for him already.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That
Niczur lead. Drag just going for Mirror Room as Niczur gets up on the wall and gets castle skip first try. That is massive for Niczur. He wants to see. He probably figures that Drag hit castle skip. This was quite an uncharacteristic series of events. Drag is a very good Amy runner. Unfortunately, castle skip just not happening. Of course, it's not the end of the world. Knuckles still has a say in things so far. Starting with Amy can have its benefits. Get castle skip right out of the way. If you don't hit it, not the end of the world, but leaving Twinkle Park quite late. Well, Niczur is in Hedgehog Hammer once again. Most exciting part of this run. I imagine both of these runners will go for Hedgehog Hammer skip. Both of them very, very good Amy runners. I believe Drag and Niczur are both top 5. Niczur being world record holder, if I do recall so correctly.
Have we had any close calls with Hedgehog Hammer in this tournament yet? Right?
Yes, we have. The other day had 19. Niczur getting Hedgehog Hammer skip. That's good for him. Drag a bit low on points, but I'm sure one Supersonic can change everything. And there it is. Nice. Ooh, just barely getting the monitor.
That was a tight one.
That's exactly what happened to me the other day with Hedgehog Hammer. Just barely enough points to pass. Missing Hedgehog Hammer skip. That's only a 2-second time loss, I believe. Niczur well on his way through Hot Shelter. Very, very good Act 1 so far. Drag. Hopefully things can turn around in Hot Shelter. Restarting for Elevator Clip. An interesting play. I don't see that too often. I wonder if it's faster.
Oh, missing getting into the first toilet. So that is interesting. Something that you think, it seems pretty trivial, and it's something that you think that Niczur might get first try, but that catches out a lot of runners.
That jump is significantly harder than it seems, but he gets a very, very good left side. Oh no, Drag kind of struggling with the the what is it? No, I don't know what to call it. Lever? Axle? Why are they spinny? I don't get it.
With a man's bitch.
Damn tough. That is true though. The man has mad spins. Niczur flying through Hot Shelter. This is looking to be a 140, which would be very, very unfortunate for Drag because that is a really hard to match Hot Shelter. Niczur literally cruising for it. Does he get the door clip? Oh my lord! That was a fantastic Hot Shelter. A 141. That is 2 seconds off of the IL world record, I believe.
Good grief.
Or I think a sub 130 has happened now, actually. I might be wrong about that. 141 in a tournament setting is insane. Absolutely cracked. Drag, lining up for Puzzle Skip, has had a few issues of her own, but flipping through nicely.
Nice.
Has to skip down. Now Puzzle Skip 2.
Puzzle Skip 2 is another.
Oh.
You can just find yourself not quite at the right angle, and I think we've seen in previous runs in this tournament, as soon as you like miss it once, it can be very easy to find yourself in sort of a loop of trying to get it and it just not quite happening.
Yeah, missing it once, getting a second try. This is quite a gap between them. Niczur, a near 2-minute difference between them, I believe. Some of the Hot Shelter mistakes that Drag had not helping her case trying to get ahead after the Twinkle Park that we saw from her. Niczur on his way to Final Egg. Doors can change a lot.
That was a funny cutscene. I really did. That caught me off guard.
I love the hammer flip right before the cutscene. Both of them made it past the pole, no problems, no dipping in the water for them. Sad. But hopefully what you like to see if you're running the actual game. I just think it's funny to swim in this game, because it is not swimming at all, it is a nightmare. Niczur, I believe, would be... No banana clip from Niczur, not even going for the trick he has had named after himself.
I was indeed wondering whether he would go for it.
Yeah, it looked like he was kind of lining up for it, but maybe deciding last minute that the angle wasn't good, or better yet, just playing safe. They understood.
Alrighty, what are people's thoughts on doors?
I don't like them very much.
True. What is the need?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, girl.
Niczur, no door 1, but did get the clip in, which is still a bit faster even with the other doors, I believe, because you can check the door while it opens up.
Any door 3s in chat?
No, door 3. It's between 5th and Pasta door now.
Is it gonna be?
Oh, and it's 5th door. Tragic for Niczur. This could give a huge head start to Drag's comeback. Final Egg is the worst. Drag also going for the elevator. Maybe it was a gentleman's to not go for banana clip.
Ooh, perhaps.
Ooh, Drag getting the hammer flip on top of the elevator. That does save time because you don't have to wait for the door opening animation to play after getting to the top. Also gives a bit of a better line. And she's coming up on doors. We'll see. Oh, getting hit by the laser. You don't like to see that. Those lasers absolutely suck. The worst mechanic in this game.
Oh, wait, let's see if the doors are on her side. Trying to do the clip out. But it wasn't quite happening.
First door would be huge. No, first door. Unfortunate. Second door, though, is big for her. She wants to see that. She probably is playing now with the information that she's behind after the Twinkle Park. So, That is a benefit of playing behind. You can go for some riskier stuff, or just play comfortable, hope your opponent makes a mistake. But you do have the information. The information game is far more important than I think most would seemingly guess, just from the viewer experience.
The
Making
Niczur
informed
is gone
decision.
to the final boss of Amy. Are we going to see any funky hits here?
We do hope that he can get 0 strat. And getting 2 hits. Of course, not over until the 3rd one. I learned that last match. Sad.
There we
And
go. That is
putting out
Amy's
perfectly.
story done with Niczur. That is just over
937,
930.
I believe.
That's pretty good.
That's a very, very good Amy time. I believe that's one of the very few sub-10 Amy's we've seen during this tournament. It just shows how good Niczur is at this game. He is the GOAT for a reason. He is very, very good at this game, plays solidly almost always, and has the grind of a monster.
Now we need a title change because this is now an AKG tournament. Scrap KAG. This is what we have become now.
Niczur's set here looks really solid. No second piece.
That's good.
Thankfully, we have 2 Knuckles connoisseurs on the comms, so we'll have no troubles identifying pieces here, I hope. It's the container at the top. As Drag going through 0 just fine. Actually getting a faster 0 than Niczur.
And a very quick reset as well. Okay.
Scoob in the chat saying, God, Niczur's Amy is so cool to watch. Watching without video. I guess we can figure that he's on Team Drag for this race. A whole speed highway separates these 2 runners, plus some hub movement, which is a pretty lengthy lead, can be up to a minute. But Niczur's speed highway, notably, leaves room for improvement from Drag. Drag is a very, very good Knuckles runner.
Immediate pings for Niczur. Gone up for the ship. He's going to have to click through here for the second one, and then the other one's going to be at the
piece 2 below.
I
believe he got his piece 2 already. Drag got a 16-second set in Speed Highway. I was going to mention that. She got a very, very solid set. The enemy at the start, the first platform you go to, then the right side tunnel, or far side tunnel, I guess. Straight into the second balcony. That's a fantastic set. You would love to see that.
Drag's going for this.
Going for the casino exit entrance.
First jump.
Niczur hits Scream Skip. I don't think anyone's too surprised.
Oh no,
Drag barely missing the entrance. This is faster if you get it perfectly, but it is slower if you have any mistakes.
Very consistent with those jumps though.
But makes it in second try. That is very, very tight to actually get in. Going for this piece 2 first. Drag's decision-making has been a notable highlight of this tournament so far, ignoring this piece 1 that is on the stand. Going for it after getting the piece 3 and piece 2, which I believe is a very good play. Going from that piece 1 to the piece 2 you have is very tricky. Getting sub 20 casino is perfectly fine. I believe that might have been a bit faster than Niczur's with his lack of pings at the beginning. Having to find information in casino is quite tricky if you don't have any yet. Drag hitting a super clean cream skip. That's what we like to see, both of them.
R.I.P. Monkey on Niczur's end. This is so sad.
This is so sad. We do have to kill this monkey.
I think by the end we've got to do an inventory of how many Knuckles runs we've had in this tournament, just how many times we've had to just have animal cruelty. Oh no, Drag is not.
Oh,
just not getting the kills 2 minutes at the moment.
Chaos 2 dying.
It's a death.
That's really bad. An 11-second or so time loss.
That's unbelievably unlike her as well.
Yeah, we've seen some big mistakes that Drag typically doesn't make too often. And Niczur getting a pretty alright Red Mountain set of 27. Sub 30 is what you want to see in a reset. He did get a volcano piece. His piece 3 was the volcano. He checked it almost right away. Is perfectly
Is he going
understandable.
for the speed
For the
shoes?
dig?
Oh, not
No
quite.
speed shoes. Sad.
Mimic stole the luck for that.
Mimic has had all the luck this tournament, it seems. This is the crunchiest stream I've ever watched.
Yeah,
The Android phone internet. Again.
The texture is quite incredible.
Quite edible. I would eat these streams if I could.
Hmm.
What did it mean by this? You'll never know.
Alrighty, Chaos 4, it's resident sleeper time for Niczur, although actually it would be quite funny if blue balls happen. But we're going to hope that doesn't happen for either of these runners. We are hoping that Drag is going to get a nice set in Red Mountain.
So, where is your pillow, Hib? I know you did it for that one marathon run you had of Knuckles. Where is it?
That wasn't for Chaos 4, that was for all of the cutscenes.
Yeah. I mean, what is Chaos 4 if not a cutscene?
Ooh, a 14 seconds with a restart, but that was
14 is pretty solid.
That's pretty good.
I believe her set was also pretty good. What I saw of it, at least. I was too busy with the spectacle of Chaos 4. Absolutely entrapping.
Truly mesmerizing.
Even more mesmerizing are these pixels!
I love it. I did find it phenomenal that we had like a full-blown, high-production ESA event, and we had the absolute beauty and honor of seeing French Sonic Adventure director's cut streams on it, and it doesn't change. It just it endears to the heart. And
is it the French internet? Is that the problem?
The British probably stole it, so yeah.
Sad. This is Hib's fault.
Niczur with a 131. That's sort of what you'd expect to see from a Chaos. So no bad attacks. And Niczur is going through. Let's see how his jungle movement is. Refrag is trying to break the stigma when it comes to French internet. I think he actually just secretly lives in a different location.
Refrag, not a true Frenchman.
But that's just me speculating. Yeah, Niczur doing what you'd expect to see from here. Again, I know it's incredibly easy to just be like, oh yeah, like this is all just part of the run at this point. All of these runners have done this so many times, but as someone who still sort of is quite new to free cam, like the teething into getting all of this movement is yeah, takes a while.
Jungle movement is very difficult, but Lost World now will be where we want to see no mistakes. Lost World clip fairly consistent once you get it down.
Nice.
A 1081, very, very good time from Niczur. Refrag becoming Quebec-y in the
131 from track, very good.
I think maybe I've been infected with the French internet at 40 ping. Nightmare.
Niczur making his way back to the jungle as Dragvrallas is doing the stones, getting the statues in, and I think that one was safe. I did have, well, I think every Knuckles runner has had at least one moment where they've gone a little too fast. Yes, you can go too fast with Knuckles and despawn one of the keys, but I think Drag played it safe there and did a good throw with the first yellow stone, so that's good.
Only safe if it enters the slot, which, if you're trying to go fast, that is very scary. Drag entering Lost World.
Good movement up to the door.
Ooh, hitting the capsule. That's going to block her from getting in, but a 12-second Lost World, only losing about a second and a half to Niczur. That's perfectly fine. A second and a half is basically nothing at this point, but you do want to see everything you can.
Got this first door.
We'll have to go to the back, because that was his piece 2 and not his piece 3. Or, piece 1, rather. Oh, he's going for the clip-in here. This strat is very dumb.
Pretty clean. Alrighty, he's picked up that piece, he's going to the back. Which one of the back has he got? It's straight into that one. Makes it look easy.
A very, very good Skydeck from Niczur. That's basically Drag's last chance to really catch up in this race if she wants good RNG. Maybe now at this point probably relying on a mistake from Niczur.
We've got a whole another story to come, so who knows what could happen.
Definitely true. Anything can happen. It's not over until the timer stops. Notably, we now have a far less of a difference between the two runners' timers. Only about 10 seconds separating them. I imagine Niczur is probably running on 63 FPS, while Drag is on 60. So we did have about a 40-second to 50-second difference between their starting times.
Let's see how Niczur does this Chaos 6. It's looking pretty smooth so far, getting those ice capsule whatever things right. Oh my goodness, this guy.
That was such a good throw.
This guy is just gonna, yeah.
Ducking it straight into Chaos's gaping jaw as he leaves with a 29, a very, very good Chaos 6 time. Drag getting a pretty good set so far, just needs a piece 2. Gets the one right above the container.
That was just such an immaculate Chaos 6. I'm gonna need a moment.
Perfectly understandable. Chaos 6 done well is a spectacle. I actually like that fight. Chaos 6, very stylish. As Niczur in Gamma now, Drag getting a very good Skydeck. Niczur hitting a incredible scoop skip. Unfortunately, hitting the wall. A little bit of time wasted, but still very, very good. Drag now on her way to Chaos 6, the final boss of Knuckles.
No funny running.
No funny running, sad.
Alright everybody, this is finally Wither Man in Sonic Adventure Director's Cut.
Holy shit.
Real.
Real.
I can't believe Niczur has killed Wither Man.
Drag missing the Freezy, so this time will be a bit slower than Niczur, but doing the very common quick kill strat we see from the higher level Nux runners, just cycling back and forth between Chaos and the Freezies. A 31 flat, very good time. Niczur now in Emerald Coast. We'll want to see very fast pillars, or at least not a death.
I'd say we have seen a few runners stumble up on the pillars here, so it'd be interesting to see how this goes for Niczur.
You can save it as long as you don't die, but Niczur not even worried about it. Hitting all the jumps wonderfully.
Smooth, like butter.
Very smooth. Unlike these streams, once again, shout out to French internet. Or at least their French internet, according to Refrag. Still have my doubts. I don't believe Drag went for Scube Skip. Makes sense. This gap is going to be harder and harder for Drag to close. The next big obstacle for Niczur will be Hot Shelter with Gamma. Gamma clipping out of bounds in Hot Shelter, doing it his final stage early, opening up the entire trial menu glitch segment of the run. But of course, you do have to finish Hot Shelter first, and Hot Shelter we've seen kill a lot of runs, both with Amy and with Gamma. The wall ride run can definitely be tricky. And then the clip-in to the train station, even trickier if you're not quite sure. Of course, both of these runners very familiar with these strats, so it's all a matter of executing. Hoping to not see any big mistakes.
Niczur's got to do some housekeeping, you know, we've got to keep up with the story in some way, and we've got to be getting some power-ups, so he's been doing that. Nice, quick clip out into the door.
Very, very quick clip out. Don't think anyone's too surprised by that. Niczur just such a good player.
Oh, Drag was very quick with those pillars.
Drag had a very, very good pillars, and Niczur clipping out of the first area in Hot Shelter. That's a little bit faster than the box destruction strat, where you have to go down the very long corridor.
Avoiding the moving platform there, very nice. Let's see how he goes with this wall run.
Angle looks good, and he's out. Very, very clean there. Now he just has a clip in. Very wide. But makes it first try. I don't think anyone's surprised by this. Niczur playing very, very hot right now.
Nice.
He's going to exit Hot Shelter with a 25-minute time, as long as this boss goes well. Which, this boss is pretty trivial, for the most part. We'll be seeing him exit out into the trial menu, I believe. I do not think Niczur does the Sonic fight early. But Drag now entering the jet booster room, getting it the upgrade herself. A 25-42. We exit Hot Shelter. Yeah, quitting out immediately. No early Sonic fight. In Red Mountain. Perfect. Perfect clip.
Of course.
He is such a good player.
Of course.
Of course. Drag getting a very clean clip out of Hot Shelter, keeping pace. If all that separates you between Niczur, the world record holder, is a Hot Shelter, I don't think you're playing that bad. Not as bad as perhaps the early Twinkle Park mistakes make it seem. She's been playing very, very well past Twinkle Park, knows that she has to play well in order to have a chance in this race. The early mistake, costing a lot of time.
See how she does with the wall run as well.
Good angle.
Again, it's setting up well. Yes.
Good jump. Needs to clip back in. Is low. That was so low, but still made it in first try. I believe that should be a little bit faster than Niczur's, because I do believe he got stuck on the slope. Just has the boss to complete, while Niczur cruising through Windy Valley. The last actual choke point of the run for early shot. An early shot is just an extra time save on top of whatever you've gotten so far. Run can't die to early shot typically. As long as you're not playing for a PB, I suppose. In a tournament setting, it doesn't really die to early shot. Drag opting to go through with the Sonic fight early, as I believe just under 2 minutes separates these runners. She exited with a 27-36, which is about 2 minutes from Niczur's 25-42 exit Hot Shelter. 2 minutes is a lot to make up in Gamma's endgame. Going to be an uphill battle if Drag wins this, but unfortunately it might be a bit too late. Niczur going through with the Sonic fight now. Back in Gamma's story, Drag getting a very, very clean Red Mountain clip, playing just as clean here in Gamma as Niczur.
So onto the Sonic fight, we get to see Gamma ratio Sonic. It's an all-time classic.
The easiest fight in the game by far.
And here we go. This is the game catching up to where they have got themselves with their slightly different route than what Sega might have intended. But you know, we do what we do.
What do you mean slightly different route? This is how Gamma Story is normally played. At least this is how I normally played Gamma Story. Perhaps I am the freak in this call.
Perhaps.
Drag finishing up Red Mountain. Niczur entering Red Mountain. They were nearly on the same level for the first time in a good while. Of course, about 2 minutes separating them still, but same level would have been cool to see. Jumping off the cliff, sad Gamma suicide. Pray for him. Never mind, he's
Gamma
fine.
didn't really die, guys, right? Smile.
What do you mean Gamma dies at the end of the story? No, he doesn't. Niczur now on the egg carrier.
Exposition. Now he is on to the final fight. Let's see.
I love Sonic Adventure Exposition. More than that, I love Early Shot. No first try, sad.
He's not going to go for a second try. Oh, there he is.
Gets
And there's
it,
an early
perfect.
shot.
I couldn't even tell until the camera change because of the pixels. But Early Shot as Niczur is going to probably, unless something catastrophic happens, close this match out. Drag now entering the story again. Do believe this match may be curtains now. But it was a well-fought battle from Drag. Really, the only thing that went terribly wrong for her was Twinkle Park and Amy Hot Shelter with a few very, very tiny mistakes. But the 2-minute gap from Twinkle Park still existing even this late into the game as Niczur finishes out with a sub 31. I believe that's the first we've seen in this tournament. A 30-57.
A GG for Niczur.
A good game from Niczur. Very good run.
Yeah, it's a shame that when the errors did come, they were really early on for Drag, but you know, she's still going. She's going to finish this run out, and
of course,
we're all behind her, right?
Yeah, of course. Drag is not out of the tournament, notably. This is winners semis. She could come back from losers, a loser's run of her life, to face Niczur possibly again in winners or grand finals. So, this is not all we'll see from Drag. Drag, of course, playing wonderfully up to this point, up to this match, where now getting knocked into losers isn't the end.
The unofficial review of Niczur's run from Niczur is Chow Kwan, which I think is accurate. We're going to see a second attempt. Early shot didn't happen for Drag. She got an extra life to do so. She has one more. Can she get it?
And there she gets it. A good show of sportsmanship. I'm sure she believes that Niczur has already taken this 32 minutes on the clock. I don't believe Niczur has had a 32-minute run in a good while. Of course, I wouldn't know. I'm not Banana Man, but hitting early shot, a handshake at the end of a very arduous run. This category extension is surprisingly tricky. Finding 3 stories, you wouldn't think it's any more difficult than just all stories, but I actually think this category is very, very hard to go for top time in.
Especially optimizing it and depending on the tricks that you can find.
There's so much time save with Gamma and Amy, and then whole RNG with Knuckles. But Drag finishing out the run with a 32-58, a sub 33. That's one of the few we've seen this tournament. But Niczur getting the first sub 31 in this tournament so far. I imagine as we proceed into winners a bit further, and even some of the later losers matches, we'll see this again. The sub 31 is an incredible time. 32, nothing to be ashamed of.
Indeed, yeah, the standard is incredibly high, especially with these two runners. If you know anything about Sonic Adventure speedrunning, you know that they are both, you know, tip-top runners. So, yeah, expect more from them, because Nyx is going to be going through as a winner, but Dragvrallas is still going to be going as a loser, as we mentioned earlier. And I'm looking forward to seeing whether, hey, they might meet up again. They might be racing each other again, but we shall see.
Yeah, definitely. This has been a great tournament for Drag, playing very, very well. Next up, she will be fighting, I believe, either Nimputs or Mimic. 2 very, very good opponents.
Like how you said fighting, not racing. It is a brawl.
It is a brawl. This tournament, everyone's in it for a reason. Everyone has their own fight. I do not know if they'll be interviewing.
We might be getting Niczur in the call. We might be getting some words from Mr. Banana Man. But I don't think Drag can join us this time. But a big GG's from us towards her.
Of course.
think there's some love in the chat for Drag, so that's brilliant. So we're gonna see if we can
Of course.
get Niczur in with us.
Drag notably having probably the biggest fan turnout of the tournament so far. A lot of people in chat being part of Drag Nation, representing their runner.
You love to see it.
Has their own fight. On the other side, Niczur proceeding through to winners finals, going to be going against Alpha Dolphin or Spacebar, which two very good players in their own right. Will be a scary matchup. And joining us in the commentary booth, hello Banana Man, Niczur, you are here. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm good.
Of course.
Hello everyone. First.
Drag notably having probably the biggest
This one was
fan turnout
interesting.
of
Yes.
the tournament so far. A lot of any thoughts after getting the sub 31?
Yeah, that's a pretty good time actually. I'm pretty happy about that time. But that was surprising, I would say, because the RNG was pretty bad, and but the final time is still good. So it showed how the story can go. The category.
Yeah, with the RNG that you did manage to sort of get good times in those stages. You just know where everything is. Do you think that you've got sort of lower times in you? Do you think that you can get below this time later on in the tournament?
It will be insane if I can get the sub 30, you know.
Ooh.
That would be absolutely nuts. I am hoping for it. That'd be a very good run.
Yeah, but the RNG needs to be here. And yeah, I don't know what happens for Dragon. Like, I wasn't on the stream during the Hall of Run, but
so what we saw was Twinkle Park just right at the start of the run for her, sort of skipping the castle. Just wasn't happening. A couple of attempts to get up on the door and then not making the jump over to the fences.
Yeah, you actually started about 50 seconds behind Drag. I don't know what happened there. I imagine the countdown got a bit messed up. Yeah. But when Drag entered, or when Drag was going for Twinkle Park, you had already entered it. A correction in the chat. Drag will be facing the winner of Venom versus Refrag. So either Venom or Refrag, two pretty good contenders. Venom, one of the top higher up seeds, I believe. But
yeah, and that's why starting with Amy is pretty hard actually, because you have to start the race with like insane movements if you're going for Castle Escape.
Yeah,
and that's
definitely.
Why I before the race I asked Drag if she wanted to start with Knuckles or Amy, and she wanted to start with Amy. So yeah.
You typically start with Knuckles, correct?
Usually I start with Amy.
Okay.
But like yeah.
Nice. Well,